Pop the top, it's time for a video to drop. And today's video is sponsored by 2K because I'm here to give you all the details on WWE's very popular card collecting mobile game known as WWE Supercard, which is actually celebrating WrestleMania 2022. On April 1st, 2022, WWE Supercard will release WrestleMania 38, a new tier of cards following the release of Road to WrestleMania with over 70 plus cards. Step into the ring with your favorite WWE superstars, including Becky Lynch, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and many more from the past, present, and future. In April, we will also see the release of many special edition cards, including an IRS card on tax day and a debut of a remastered Bayley card. In May, WWE Supercard players will be able to participate in a limited time event featuring cooperative play called Tag Team Takedown. During a Tag Team Takedown, you can team up with another player and take on other duos for a chance to win some rewards. Once you are paired with somebody, you will enter into a wild rules match where both you and your duo pick cards against another team. The brand new WWE Supercard website is already live. Make sure you check it out on WWESupercard.com. That's WWESupercard.com. In addition, you can also check out the latest news, get some wonderful tips for the game, which I'm probably going to need, to be quite honest with you, and you're also going to get a lot of good offers on some packs. To download WWE Supercard and participate in the WrestleMania celebration, click the link in my description. It is available to play now on your iPhone and iPad, as well as the Google Play Store and Amazon App Store for Android devices and Facebook Gaming. WWE Supercard requires iOS 12 or later for iOS devices, including iPhone and iPad, as well as requires Android 5 and up for Android devices. Once again, big thank you to 2K for sponsoring today's video. Today's video, we are playing WWE 2K22 Universe Mode, but I only draft NXT Alumni. This is a video I did back on WWE 2K20, but with a whole new crop of NXT talent, I think this one is about to be very, very special. So let's go ahead and make our very first draft pick in this NXT universe. I'm gonna go ahead and make it real easy for you. We're gonna take the current NXT champions in the game. Let me go ahead and grab Tommaso Ciampa. We're gonna go ahead and grab a little bit of Mandy Rose. We're gonna go ahead and grab a little bit of Imperium. Give me Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and add that Walter to the mix as well. And just because I'm feeling lucky, I'll add an Alexander Wolf. Those are our starting draft picks here in NXT, but let's keep it going. Let's add in the Goddess, Alexa Bliss. Let's go ahead and add in Angel Garza, a former NXT Cruiserweight champion. Let's add in the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Now, I just hit y'all with some rapid fire, bing, bang, boom. So let's slow it down just a little bit and let me think for my next pick. Nikki wants to play. Let's play with Nikki. I'm drafting Nikki Cross. I'm going to draft Pete Dunne. I'm going to draft the Iconics, Peyton Royce, and Billy Kay. So let's go ahead and grab Billy Kay today. We're going to grab Bianca Belair. The EST of NXT is back, baby. Let's go ahead and grab Big E. Don't you ever, child, forget that Big E was an NXT champion. He had 5 on it, baby. He had 5 on it. And don't you ever forget who your very first NXT champion was. That was, of course, Seth Rollins. So we're going to go ahead and grab Seth Rollins. We'll grab the boss, Sasha Banks. We'll grab Scarlett Bordeaux as well. She never in-ring competed at NXT, but I think her in this women's division might be a little interesting if you ask me. We'll go ahead and grab Joey Samoa. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and grab a Samoan named Joe in Roman Reigns. We'll grab Roderick Strong. We won't forget about the Glorious. No, I won't give in. I won't give in. Oh, so glorious. Robert Roode. We'll grab Sami Zayn because ain't no conspiracies here, baby. We'll grab Santos Escobar, which only means I have to grab Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza to make Legado del Fantasma complete. We'll grab Raquel while we're here. And don't you think I ain't doing it. Don't you think I ain't doing it. I'm grabbing the leader of Team Kick. Give me Dakota Kai in that women's division all day, all night. We'll take Damian Priest on this roster. We'll grab Demon Finn Balor as well to switch it up a little bit. Dexter Lumis, I think, would be cool as somebody that's very new to NXT. He's currently the NXT champion in real life. I'll put Dolph Ziggler in here just to make some people upset, including myself, to be honest. I'm not really that big of a fan of Dolph. We'll grab Drew McIntyre. We'll take Ember Moon as well. I don't really want to put Elias in this one. I'll grab Fandango, though. And while I'm at it, let me go ahead and grab Tyler Breeze as well. Now, let's grab some women real quick. Tony Khan is about to be in NXT again. We're going to grab Tegan Knox once more. And now I think it's time to grab Shotzi Blackheart. You know what I'm saying. Shayna Baszler coming back to NXT. And now, if you're wondering why you see these original calls, it's because I got that channel, Phoenix Nitro Originals. Make sure you go and subscribe to that channel. Link will be down in the description below. Let's go ahead and grab Ricochet. Why you bald? Why you ugly? I'm going to grab Riddle while we're at it as well. Rhea Ripley coming to this NXT Alumni brand. This is a stacked roster right now. Let me tell you, as I go through, I know there's certain people that have been in NXT, but like, we're kind of stacked it up right now. Let me go ahead and grab Mia Yim. I'll grab Keith Lee as well. Where is Keith Lee actually? Pontificating somewhere. We're gonna grab King Nakamura. How could I forget about Shinsuke? We'll grab Kushida. We'll grab Kyle O'Reilly. You know what? Let's grab Liv Morgan as well. I can see Liv Morgan being an NXT Women's Champion by the end of this sim. We'll throw Karrion Kross in as well. Johnny Gargano, can't forget about him, man. Can't forget about him. Isaiah Swerve Scott is about to come into this NXT, and he's going to do good things, let me tell you. We'll grab Io Shirai as well. Let's see now. Let's slow it down a little bit. I'll cycle through, and we'll come back with the final selections. I have this Corey Graves call made by What's the Status. It's his actual model, so we're going to use Corey Graves in this. I think that's actually a really cool way of switching it up just a little bit. So we'll throw Corey Graves in, but I need y'all to shoosh. Let me grab Chad Gable. We'll grab Cesaro as well. In the dark, out here at home. Well, you know, actually, now I think about it, Cedric really didn't get used too much. I would throw this Carmelo in, made by Iconic 2K, but I do not have a render for him yet, sadly. I need to get one. We'll throw Candice LeRae in. We'll throw Cameron Grimes in, baby. And let's see. I think we're actually coming up on the end. I think that might be one of the last ones, but I would be apropos if I didn't draft the 4 horsewomen. So let me grab Bayley, Becky Lynch, and I'll also grab Charlotte. And you know what? I know there's some Carmella fans out there. I'll grab Mella for y'all because Mella is money. And I think that'll wrap it up. Let's swoosh down real quick just to see if there's anybody that tickles my fancy. I'll throw Kevin in as well. I almost missed out on Kevin Owens in this sim. That'd have been kind of crazy. Now, again, this isn't everybody from NXT. This is just people that I'm seeing that I think would be very, very cool. We can't grab everybody. We would have a crazy roster at that point. But you know what? The more I look at this, the more I'm starting to realize we kind of got everybody on the almost everybody. But ladies and gentlemen, the last pick, actually second to last pick, the last pick is going to be William Regal. That's right, we're throwing William Regal into this as well. Our very first NXT Takeover is NXT Takeover in your house. We're kicking things off with Isaiah Swerve Scott retaining that North American Championship against Damian Priest. We got the Dirty Dogs going up against the Street Profits in a win. Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner defeat Breezango for the NXT Tag title. So we got same champions so far. Mandy Rose defeats Bayley for that NXT Women's Championship to retain the title. Ciampa retains the title against Sami Zayn. And in the main event of the evening, we got Kevin Owens defeating Roman Reigns and Big E in a triple threat match. What a first takeover. I want you guys to comment down below at the very end of this video and let me know what your favorite takeover was in this sim. But let's go ahead and go on to the next takeover. On onwards. NXT Takeover 30 is the next takeover, and it's in August as Marcel Bartel of Imperium is headlining. Let's see what happens. Wow! Keith Lee going up against Tommaso Ciampa in the opener for the NXT title, and Ciampa is still your NXT champion. Damian Priest becomes the new North American champion. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford defeat the Dirty Dogs and Legado del Fantasma in a triple threat tornado tag match. We got Sami Zayn defeating Kevin Owens, and that makes all the sense in the world. We got Mandy Rose defeating Bayley to retain the NXT Women's Championship. Roman Reigns defeats Big E, and in the main event of the evening, Tyler Breeze and Fandango become the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Big congrats to Tyler Breeze and Fandango, but onwards to the next NXT Takeover. NXT Takeover 31 is our next takeover with Shayna Baszler as the cover star of this pay-per-view. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Riddle is facing Damian Priest in the opening match, with Matt Riddle becoming the new North American champion. Onwards, though, to the Dirty Dogs becoming the NXT Tag Team Champions, defeating Fandango and Tyler Breeze. We got Joaquin Wilde defeating Santos Escobar in a rivalry match, so one can only assume that means that Legado split up. Let's actually take a look at that. I'm very curious about that. They did split up. Santos Escobar is solo dolo now. That's very, very interesting to me, but Joaquin Wilde does defeat Santos Escobar. We got Karrion Kross winning the NXT Championship from Tommaso Ciampa. We got Bayley winning the NXT Women's Championship from Mandy Rose. All new champions tonight so far. We got Roman Reigns defeating Sami Zayn in the main event of the evening. Nikki Cross, Nikki wants to play, defeats Shayna Baszler in our main event. But it's time to go onwards to the next NXT Takeover. The next NXT Takeover isn't until actually February in the game, and Joaquin Wilde is the cover star. Now, with what happened with Santos Escobar leaving, I wonder if Joaquin's getting a shot by himself, but nevertheless, let's take a look at this card. We're kicking things off. Imperium have broken up, apparently. Marcel Bartel and Alexander Wolf are battling Fabian Eichner and Walter, with Fabian Eichner and Walter picking up the big win. We got Keith Lee becoming the new NXT champion, defeating Karrion Kross. It kind of reflects the reality a little bit. Sami Zayn does defeat Tommaso Ciampa. We got King Nakamura defeating Riddle for the North American Championship. So Nakamura is now your new North American champion. Bayley defeats Sasha Banks for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm sure there was a beautiful video package for that match. There's a lot of history there between those two. And in the main event of the evening, Santos Escobar defeated Joaquin Wilde, and Santos got that dub back. But it's time to go onwards to the next NXT Takeover. It's technically the biggest NXT Takeover of the year. It is NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. Bayley is the cover woman of this show, but we kick things off with Sami Zayn defeating Tommaso Ciampa. Keith Lee does defeat Karrion Kross in a no-holds-barred match to retain the NXT Championship. Mandy Rose defeats the baddie, Mia Yim. We got Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode defeating Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford in a tag team NXT Championship match. Big E defeats Pete Dunne. We got Santos Escobar defeating Joaquin Wilde once again in a ladder match this time. I wonder what that was for. We got King Nakamura defeating Riddle in a ladder match. Fabian Eichner and Walter defeat Marcel Bartel and Alexander Wolf. Roman Reigns defeats Kevin Owens in a normal match. And Io Shirai in the main event defeats Bayley to become the new NXT Women's Champion. But onwards to the next NXT Takeover. We're gonna go one more year. Keith Lee, the man of the hour, if you will, is the headliner for this NXT Takeover, but we're gonna kick things off with Nakamura retaining the North American title against Matt Riddle. Moving forward, though, Mia Yim does defeat Mandy Rose. Io Shirai retains the NXT Women's Championship, defeating Sasha Banks. We got Joaquin Wilde defeating Santos Escobar in that never-ending feud, it seems. Sami Zayn does defeat Tommaso Ciampa, and then Karrion Kross wins the NXT Championship in a wild triple threat match between Keith Lee and Walter and himself. That's a huge main event if you ask me, but Karrion Kross picks up the win, winning the NXT Championship once again. Onwards to the next NXT Takeover. Fabian Eichner is the cover star of this takeover. Let's go ahead and see what we're getting into. Whoa! Big NXT Tag title match as we have the Dirty Dogs walking out as the NXT Tag Team Champions, beating the Street Profits as well as Breezango. Xavier Woods does defeat Dexter Lumis. Sami Zayn is your new NXT champion as he defeats Keith Lee. We got Joaquin Wilde defeating Santos Escobar. Shayna Baszler is your new NXT Women's Champion, defeating Io Shirai. King Nakamura still your NXT North American Champion, defeating Riddle. And in the main event of the evening, Fabian Eichner and Alexander Wolf do defeat Marcel Bartel and Walter. Onwards to the next NXT Takeover. Once again, Fabian Eichner is the cover star of an NXT Takeover. Let's see what's happening on this one. King Nakamura defeats Damian Priest for that NXT North American Championship. Joaquin Wilde defeats Santos Escobar. We got Sami Zayn retaining the NXT Championship against Keith Lee. Rhea Ripley is your new NXT Women's Champion, defeating Shayna Baszler. This is her brutality. Welcome to your nightmare. We got Xavier Woods defeating Dexter Lumis. Roman Reigns defeats Cesaro. In the main event of the evening, Marcel Bartel and Walter defeat Fabian Eichner and Alexander Wolf. But now it's time to go onwards to the next NXT Takeover. Joaquin Wilde is the cover star of this NXT Takeover. I can only assume he's going to be going up against Santos Escobar, but let's hop into it. Wow. Walter battles Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn retains his NXT Championship. Fandango and Tyler Breeze retain their NXT Tag titles as they defeat Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Mandy Rose defeats Nikki Cross. We got King Nakamura defeating Kushida for that NXT North American title, and what I can only assume is an absolute banger right there. Shayna Baszler defeats Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Champion to become the champion yet again. In the main event of the evening, Santos Escobar defeats Joaquin Wilde in the feud that just will not end. Onwards to the next NXT Takeover, which I believe is Stand and Deliver. Shayna Baszler is the headliner for the biggest NXT of the show of the year. There we go. I got tongue-tied on that like crazy. Much like people usually get tied up in that Codafita clutch. Is that how you pronounce it? Look, man, words escape me sometimes, but this action will not. Let's jump right on into it as Cesaro battles Drew McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre defeats Cesaro in the opening contest. We then have Sami Zayn retaining the NXT Championship against Karrion Kross in a no-holds-barred match, mind you. We got Fandango and Tyler Breeze defeating Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford in an NXT Tag Team Championship match. Dexter Lumis wins a six-man normal match. That's kind of a crazy match right there, including Xavier Woods, Dexter Lumis, Kyle O'Reilly, Riddle, Cameron Grimes, and Kushida. We got Kevin Owens defeating Big E. Santos Escobar defeats Joaquin Wilde in yet another ladder match. I think that's back-to-back ladder matches for them. We got King Nakamura defeating Damian Priest, Keith Lee defeating Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe defeating Seth Rollins, and in the main event of the evening, Becky Lynch is your new NXT Women's Champion, winning a championship she never won in her career, mind you. This is the very first time for Becky Lynch being the NXT Women's Champion. Much congratulations to Becky Lynch. All right, so as we end this simulation 2 years in, Sami Zayn is your NXT champion. King Nakamura was your last NXT North American champion. Breezango were your NXT Tag Team Champions. And Becky Lynch is your NXT Women's Champion. Now, in the future, if I go back to do one of these NXT Alumni Sims, I might add a takeover for every single month. I think that might be a very good way of doing this in the future. But I think this is a nice little tester. And once again, thank you so much to 2K for sponsoring this video. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, trying to become Dalty 2 Blacks. And as always and forever, take it easy though, guys. Peace!